Hey guys, Jen Cunnings here. Thanks for watching this video. I came here today with the intention of talking about authenticity and doing a light language energy transmission to assist us in connecting with our authenticity. However, the universe had other plans, and so today we're going to talk about emotional triggers, what they are, how to deal with them, ways that you can actually release them from your body so that when somebody comes and does XYZ, and normally you might get angry, frustrated, sad, hurt, or in some way, so that these triggers aren't so loud for you anymore, or perhaps they're even 100% neutral. So emotional triggers, it's anytime somebody or a situation comes into your life and it causes a reaction, right? And we're human, so we do this all day long. We have emotional triggers all day long. There's some emotional triggers that are really supportive, like if someone you love gives you a hug and your emotional response is to open up some more love, like those are things we really like, right? But then there's those other emotional triggers where somebody pushes your button and then you're like, grr, which is kind of where I started today. In case you can't tell, I'm a little feisty right now. So anyhow, but what I have learned over the years and working energetically with myself and others is there's ways to process through these and to perceive them as information. Okay, so the trigger that happened to me today, I won't go into detail, but somebody just felt like they were a little disrespectful to me, or maybe a lot disrespectful to me. And I kind of get into this response of like, I want to defend myself, and there's this, this lack of justice because they're having these, experiences, and so I want to blame them and make it all about them. But it's never, ever about the other person. Other people are only mirroring back to us to show us what's going on within. So all these triggers are opportunities. They're information. And there's no, it's okay to get triggered, right? It's part of our human experience, but it's also an opportunity to say, well, I'm not loving this feeling right now, but I'm going to be in total allowance of it, and I'm going to work through it so that I can free myself up to choose feelings, to choose experiences that feel better for me, right? And that's where we kind of clean some of the baggage that we're taking with us so that we can open up even more space to create more of what we're wanting. So what do we do when somebody triggers us emotionally? Well, often we react, and again, that's okay. Give yourself the space to do that. You're a human, you have emotions. This is part of our human experience. So, but you make note of it, right? You can move into an observer mode and not let the emotion dictate how you're going to respond. So you might feel the feeling, okay, there it is. And then you would move into a place of observance. All right, I can perceive that this person is triggering me and showing me this energy, this emotion, and this experience within me. Got it. The next step is to begin to connect with your body to find the emotion. But I recommend to wait until you've had the chance to kind of give yourself the space to feel through the emotions. I recommend to write some of the things down. So you could begin with the question, well, when this person did this or this situation came up, I felt this, I feel this. And you could also include beliefs that you have. So I feel this and I think this about them, or I think this about myself. So this person who felt disrespected to me, I'm like looking at him going, well, what a jerk, right? Okay, well, I believe he's a jerk. I believe it's his fault. I notice that I go into defensive. I notice that I go into angry. So those are my emotions. And my belief is, he's in the wrong and I'm in the right. So then I kind of create this, or not competition, but this contrast between me and him. But really where I would gain the most benefit is to just look at what gift is he offering me so that I might lighten the energies, the emotions that I'm carrying around. Because oftentimes when we're triggered, it's triggering something from our past, from our subconscious mind. Okay, so again, it's just information. So you've reacted, you've observed, perhaps you've written down some things that often bring greater awareness as to what the trigger is. Then I recommend to sit with yourself. Once you've written down and you're in a place where you can just be still. So I'll just walk you through that really quick. So I'm going to sit down with myself. And if you'd like to just go along with this, if you're in a space to do that, I invite you to do that. It's not going to take too long. And I'm going to ask myself, I'm going to ask to connect with my body. So I connect with my body. Hello, body. Hello. Take a breath because I'm a little riled up. And I'm going to ask the consciousness of my body to show me where the energy of, I'm just going to use the word anger because that's kind of a response that I had. Where am I angry? Where do I feel a sense of injustice? Where do I feel wronged in some way? And also notice the places that you've judged other people, because those might be judgments you have about myself. So I'm making this guy wrong. I'm calling him a jerk. Well, where do I believe that I might be a jerk? It's not always a direct mirror, but these are just questions that you can ask yourself to support in allowing the body to bring these energies up for you. So as I'm asking my body, I feel it in my chest. I get a physical sensation in my chest. Now you might have an awareness or perhaps a visual, or it might be a physical sensation. And sometimes it can be very subtle. Sometimes it's, a pressure or a pain or a tightness. It can feel kind of like a constriction, because usually it's something we've carried with us that you could call a block, right? Because energy is not flowing. Right? If the energy was flowing and the person triggered you, you just flow right out of it, right? But we don't, because our button's pushed and it turns on that energy that we've carried with us, right? Again, it's subconscious mind programming and physical energies that we carry in our bodies. So as I say that, I start clearing energy. So one of the reasons I do these videos is because I'm usually sharing something that I need to give attention to. So it's always a win-win. So once you've identified where in the body the energy or the emotion is, next is to just acknowledge it. We're not trying to make it go away. We're not trying to make it wrong. We're not trying to force it out of our body. That's often what gets it stuck there in the first place, is we repress our stuff. So I'm going to just feel that sensation in my chest area, and I'm going to send it some love. I'm going to imagine that I can kind of go in and feel that emotion. And I'm going to wrap it up in my arms, and I'm going to acknowledge it. I'm going to embrace it. I'm going to just be with it. This can take some time. This can require more than one time of sitting, because sometimes we have held on to things for so long that there's a benefit in us keeping it. But be patient with yourself and release expectations of outcome when you do this. So oftentimes feelings in our body, emotions in our body, just require acknowledgement. You might also, as you're being with that part of you, notice if memories come into your awareness. Notice if other emotions surface. Sometimes we just begin to purge an emotion through crying or some other outburst. perhaps you feel like screaming. So whatever your body feels like it needs to do, whatever you feel like you need to do with your body to give it the attention, to give it the opportunity for expression and acknowledgement, is what's going to loosen this up. So it doesn't have to keep getting triggered and staying stuck there. So I recommend to spend as much time as you need. Bring the journal and write additional information that you might receive when you're in the space. And I think I'll go ahead and bring a little bit of light language in so that you can play this in the background when you choose to do these steps to release these emotional triggers, to clear them and move them, to give you the aid, to give you the support so that it's easier. Okay, so if you haven't heard this before, it sounds like a weird kind of language, but it's an energy transmission that I am creating to support you, and that it's in alignment with whatever you need to receive, pardon me, as you're letting go of your emotions. And so all you need to do with this is just to sit back, listen, and receive. And again, you can play this in the background when you decide that you're going to sit down and work through an emotional trigger. I recommend to maybe watch this video again so that you are receiving the most support for this process, because it's not easy. And we just run from our emotions. We repress them. We don't want to feel them. And then our body gets stuck and full of all this stuff, which can manifest as physical dis-ease. So we want to keep the body flowing. We want to keep ourselves in awareness and acknowledgement. We want to address and show up for these parts of ourselves instead of ignoring them. All right, so that's it for working through some emotional triggers. It's a really powerful process if you give yourself the space to do it. And so again, I'm going to bring in some of the energy for you now to assist in the movement, to assist supporting you. So just sit back and receive. Asonomi anasokoria sarakete eshene iki I anasokuria sanameshikuara sana eshene meshiki. And I just feel like this energy of just bringing in love for all that you are, bringing in love to assist you in loving all these parts of yourselves and embracing and loving all of who you are, even if it feels uncomfortable. Sonomosoki aname esheki anasoku osoruyatara shaneme iki anasokuria sanami. Iara sorokuara shame eki anasanosoku osoruyatara shani. Amo oro ko oro koria shaname ke shana sariataro shokuya name eshiki. Ashamo sokuara shaname esere seki anasano kuara shaname iki anosoku. I aso so mi iki anasoku ara shame eshe esenasa sheki I. Wasor koshoni I arama sana sheke sheki anasa. And when you're with yourself and you're with your body and feeling through these emotions, be sure to take really slow, deep breaths, really being present with your body. Isoku oshomo osoa sanemesheki I asanosoku arasademe esheki anasa ho arasara keteria na esheme ere keteria shanoko oro shokuria tara shanami. Ososo wama asana shaki ere soruya tare shaneme iki anosokoro soya. Amoko ara tara shana ekere tara shane iki I asara kotoro soro kotoria shanami. And you might just imagine like a river of water flowing through your body, helping these trapped energies to flow and release. And we're going to replace it with just some love, some light. Anasakuya shemi iki ara satoro oro kotere shemi I. Anashana soko osoria tara shemi I ara sotoro soroko ara shama nasanashia. Oshoko arasana ashana shamare shana shirikia. Oshoroko doro ashana me etaro soroko are shana me esheki ara soroko ara shana mashiki. And it's just a reminder that, you know, no matter what, everything's okay. everything's okay. Everything's perfect. You are perfect. And everything you're experiencing is part of you. So just opening up to that allowance as much as possible. So that's it for today. Thanks for listening. I'm Jen Cunnings, and if you would like to work with me further, the information's down below. And I just began doing personalized light language transmissions. So if there's a particular issue that you would like some support with, I can do a remote recording for you. So check those out, and we'll look forward to seeing you again soon. Thanks so much. Take care.